Right now on Good Morning America, first look, a flash flood threat from the Midwest to the East Coast, including New York City. Severe storms extending from the southern plains to New Jersey. And the extreme heat now blamed for more than 24 deaths in one state alone. World Cup shocker. One of the star players for the U.S. is suddenly cleared to play tonight, despite a previous suspension. The big question? Is it thanks to President Trump's intervention? Firework mishaps plagued the holiday weekend. This car exploded, a major scare inside this stadium. Hundreds arrested during the chaos on this beach. A fire ignites on the Brooklyn Bridge, and a firework even hits a passenger plane. The disturbing scene as white nationalists with Confederate flags marching through Washington, even riding this subway. This woman surrounded. How the Trump administration is responding. Dramatic moments on board this plane.
Mayday, mayday, mayday.
As it crashes into New York City's East River, we hear from passengers. After her wedding extravaganza, what may be coming next from Taylor Swift. And how a man helped this moose calf escape from that bear in hot pursuit.
From ABC News, this is Good Morning America, First Look.
Good Monday morning, everyone. I'm Hanna Battah. And I'm Sophie Flay. Let's get right to the severe weather and flash flood risk across much of the country, including here in New York. Yeah, the extreme weather follows a heat wave now blamed for more than 24 deaths. This morning, more than 40 million Americans from the Midwest to the Northeast on alert for flash flooding after a holiday weekend marked by severe weather. Heavy rain pounding Chicago. Parts of Wrigley Field inundated with water. Throughout the area, roads turned into rivers, leaving drivers stranded. In New York, intense winds whipping up sand and debris. Beachgoers in Brooklyn rushing to pack up and leave. Wet! Lightning striking One World Trade Center in Lower Manhattan. And stealing the show at fireworks displays in Oklahoma, Washington, D.C., and New Jersey, where powerful storms brought down trees and power lines.
I've been through hurricanes here and whatnot, but this was the most intense.
Thousands still without power. Officials say some customers may not have electricity restored until Friday. And several days of scorching heat are now blamed for at least 25 deaths in New Jersey alone. The extreme weather also disrupting holiday celebrations across the country. The record-breaking fireworks display at the National Mall delayed. Crowds temporarily evacuated. Philadelphia declaring a heat health emergency, canceling the city's parade. But that didn't stop some groups from performing anyway, despite temperatures topping 100 degrees. Meanwhile, the conditions causing a headache for travelers. More than 9,000 flights delayed and over 1,000 canceled yesterday as another round of downpours moved through. In the West, more extreme heat. Phoenix could hit 116 by Wednesday. We'll check your forecast in a few moments. Now, to the surprise decision affecting the World Cup. One of the star players for the U.S. has suddenly been cleared to play tonight, despite a previous suspension. The question now, was he cleared to play because of President Trump's intervention? This morning, questions being raised after word that President Trump asked FIFA to review the red card penalty given to U.S. men's soccer star Folarin Balogun.
Wow.
Last week, this controversial foul on a Bosnian player led to Balogun receiving the red card. He was ejected and was suspended from the next game, which is tonight against Belgium.
This doesn't meet, for me, the criteria of a red card.
Many experts were quick to call the red card undeserved, but FIFA insisted teams cannot appeal red cards. Presidents, however, apparently can. Sources say President Trump called FIFA President Gianni Infantino and asked him to review the suspension. And yesterday, the organization made the surprise announcement, saying it would allow Balogun, the top U.S. goal scorer, to play tonight, saying his red card would now be suspended for a probationary period of 1 year. President Trump responding, "Thank you to FIFA for doing what was right and reversing a great injustice." Infantino has described Trump as a friend and last year awarded him the first ever FIFA Peace Prize.
This is truly one of the great honors of my life.
Balogun's teammates are relieved.
Obviously, for us, it gives us a boost. We're really excited.
But other teams outraged by FIFA's decision.
As a
bad decision. Not good for the sport.
As for Belgium, who will now have to defend against Balogun tonight, their coach is mocking the decision, invoking April Fool's Day, saying, "I didn't know that at the World Cup, the 5th of July is actually the 1st of April. But the red card reversal is not unprecedented. Portuguese star Cristiano Ronaldo was given a red card just before the World Cup, which would have sidelined him for the start of the tournament. But FIFA intervened, allowing him to serve the suspension at a later date." The White House has not responded for requests for comment. Breaking overnight, another deadly wave of Russian missiles and drones raining down on Ukraine's capital city. Massive explosions lit up the skies. Some apartment buildings went up in flames. Others partially collapsed, leaving residents trapped in the rubble. At least 10 people were killed and dozens injured. Hours earlier, this airstrike destroyed another building in another Ukrainian city. President Trump is set to meet with President Zelensky at a NATO summit this week. Now to Washington and the disturbing scene over the weekend. White nationalists with Confederate flags marching through the city. A member of President Trump's cabinet is responding. ABC's Karen Hua has those details. Karen, good morning.
Sophie, good morning. Hundreds of people participated in the march, covering their faces and wearing hats featuring the logo of the Patriot Front. The group was heard chanting the words, "Reclaim America." Local police and members of the National Guard arriving for security. In one image, which has since gone viral online, a woman is sitting on a DC Metro train surrounded by members of the group. When President Trump's Interior Secretary Doug Burgum was asked about the march, he cited the First Amendment.
Certainly, what they stand for is nothing that I could possibly agree with, but one of the foundational principles of the United States, which makes democracy messy, is free speech. And part of my response to that is that there are protests on the mall that people say things that I think are irreprehensible about President Trump, and yet they're allowed to go on because of free speech in our country.
Now, the Anti-Defamation League says the Patriot Front is responsible for most of the white supremacist propaganda distributed in the U.S. Meanwhile, during his July 4th message, President Trump took aim at communists, calling them a menace to the country's future, an apparent attack on the policies of far-left Democrats. Hannah?
Karen, thank you. A string of malfunctions, mistakes, and mishaps plagued fireworks shows and celebrations across the country, some of them turning deadly. Here's ABC's Allison Cossack.
This morning, from the skies to the stands. Multiple firework mishaps now under investigation after the holiday weekend. In Southern California, a car catching fire after fireworks exploded outside this home in Chino, killing a woman and injuring 3 others.
Everybody get down! The car was just engulfed with flames.
In Provo, Utah, fireworks sparking a large brush fire near Slate Canyon. Mishaps even during professional shows. This fire breaking out on the Brooklyn Bridge during the Macy's fireworks show in New York. And in Chicago,
tower, we just had a firework hit our plane, Delta 1076, we're continuing.
The pilot of a Delta Airlines flight reported a firework hit the plane as it was preparing to land.
We're just hoping it was just the mortar that went off underneath, but definitely felt the big bang.
The flight from Atlanta landed safely. Meanwhile, back in California, fans running for cover as fireworks shoot into the crowd after a soccer match at BMO Stadium in LA. The incident blamed on a malfunction. And in Fresno County, an off-duty sheriff's canine named Santy was killed after getting spooked by fireworks and running into the street. Police overnight were searching for the driver who hit him.
And despite the warnings every year about the danger of fireworks, police on Long Island, New York say a man was killed in his backyard when a firework blew up in his face and struck him in the head. Sophie, Hannah?
Allison, thank you. One other chaotic scene in July 4th. Police in Newport Beach, California say they arrested more than 400 people for unlawful behavior, including setting off fireworks. They say posts on social media drew that crowd of young people to the beach. Time now for your Monday weather.
Good morning. After an active July 4th weekend, no rest for the weary. We're tracking the possibility of flash flooding across portions of the Middle Atlantic and Northeast, including places like Philadelphia, New York City, all the way up to Hartford. We've been tracking drenching downpours overnight. They're going to be setting up probably just north and west of some of the big cities during the morning hours before kind of redeveloping along the I-95 corridor into the afternoon. Before it's all said and done tomorrow, we could be upwards of 2 to 4 inches of rain, maybe even more than that in some spots with persistent downpours. Meteorologist Jeff Smith, ABC News.
Coming up, a whale sinking a boat on the East Coast. But first, a state of emergency. Another massive fire burning at a warehouse. This one could burn for a week. And the dramatic moments on board this plane as it crashes into a river. We hear from the passengers. We're back with this inferno at a warehouse in Parkersburg, West Virginia that stores plastic material. Officials fear the fire could burn for 1 week. A state of emergency is in effect for the surrounding county while the cause is investigated. The air and water quality in the area are being monitored. Now to that plane that crashed into a river. We're now hearing from some of the passengers.
This morning, a look from inside the plane that made a hard landing into the East River in New York City. The seaplane coming from Long Island was supposed to land on the river when things quickly turned terrifying.
Mayday, mayday, mayday. The plane down on the water.
Pontoon's good.
What's happened?
Pontoon broke.
And all you hear is a boom, and then we go up, and then we go back down, and then we go up again.
And then when I hit my head.
And then she hit her head really hard.
The landing caused one of the struts to break, forcing the plane to lean to one side, one wing in the water. The pilot ordering everyone to put on their flotation devices.
You need everyone to put your PFDs on. Okay? Where are they?
Where are they?
First responders racing to the scene. 8 people were rescued. 2 suffered minor injuries, including 75-year-old Ada Todd.
Now I have a big headache and I have big problem with my neck and ribs.
Earlier video shot from the ground appears to show the plane flying close to a helicopter.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That was entirely too close.
The charter company says the seaplane was operated by Acadia Aviation. It's not clear what's to blame for the hard landing. The FAA now investigating. A preliminary report is expected this week.
Later on Good Morning America, one passenger explains what they did before rescuers got there to get out. A New Jersey fire department likely needs a new boat after a collision with a whale. The department was providing security for the Tall Ships Parade when officials say a whale breached under the boat. Several firefighters ended up in the water, but they were rescued. Scary stuff. Coming up, potential legal trouble for Nancy Pelosi's husband after a hit and run. Also ahead, a World Cup fan from Germany breaks down in tears describing the kindness of Americans.
Is that Henry?
Hey, bello.
Henry! Oh, I like it. It sounds tough and rugged. It's like, oh, look out, here comes Henry!
Back now with the Minions' worst ever opening. Minions and Monsters made $61 million over the weekend, well below expectations. One reason, fewer people in theaters with July 4th falling on a Saturday. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband could face a hit-and-run charge after a crash in California. Paul Pelosi is accused of striking an unoccupied car. A witness says the 86-year-old briefly stopped, then drove away. Police say no alcohol was detected. We turn now to the White House, taking on the Smithsonian.
In a scathing new report, the Trump administration accuses the leaders of the Smithsonian of being radical activists. The report, released by the White House Domestic Policy Council, claims the Smithsonian cannot be trusted to tell America's story honestly, adding the leadership has moved the museum's mission away from straightforward historical education and scholarship toward an extreme political activism that seeks to transform our country. The report singles out the National Museum of American History, saying it would benefit most Americans if the Smithsonian's flagship history museum had a label at every entrance that reads, "Warning, the exhibits in this museum were prepared by people who don't want you to love your country."
The notion of being a more perfect union, not the perfect union, is really what motivates me.
In an unrelated interview, the Secretary of the Smithsonian defended the institution's portrayal of America's history.
America's greatest strength, it's not running away from its history, but it's understanding how that history shaped us and continues to shape us.
But President Trump has targeted museums and historic sites he says paints too negative a picture of America's past.
We want the museums to talk about the history of our country in a fair manner, not in a woke manner or in a racist manner.
Last Friday, an appeals court cleared the way for the administration to replace the slavery exhibit at this historic home in Philadelphia, where George Washington enslaved 9 people. Critics say the administration is whitewashing U.S. history.
The story of slavery must be told here, there, and everywhere, as America acknowledges its 250th anniversary and talk about what a great country it is.
The city of Philadelphia is fighting that ruling. As for the Smithsonian, it says it remains committed to nonpartisan scholarship.
Coming up, what may be coming next from Taylor Swift.
Plus, how a man helped this moose calf escape from that bear in hot pursuit.
Time to check the pulse. We begin with new details from Taylor Swift's wedding.
Word is Taylor and Travis each took about 20 minutes to read their vows. There is also word that Paul McCartney performed the Beatles hit, I Want to Hold Your Hand, and the couple reportedly raffled off items linked to their love story, including a 1970 Chevy.
One guest revealed Madison Square Garden was draped in peach and white and transformed into a countryside retreat. Insiders say, given the camera crew that was there, a documentary on the wedding could be in the works. Next, the World Cup. It's win or go home for the U.S. tonight against Belgium, kicking off at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Norway has already advanced thanks to 2 goals from their star Erling Haaland. Norway beating Brazil 2-1. And the win set up a huge Viking row celebration among fans in Norway last night.
Too cool. Norway will play England next because England beat Mexico last night 3-2. That dramatic win coming despite a second half red card. Next, a heartwarming story from a German soccer fan who visited the U.S. for the World Cup.
Sebastian Kraus got emotional during a TV interview because of the kindness he was shown. He said he was nervous about his trip because of the stories he heard about crime in the U.S., but that changed when strangers in Boston gave him a ride to his hotel. Sebastian says he's now in love with America. Next, a wild moment caught on camera by a couple in Maine.
They saw a huge bear in hot pursuit of a young moose. They decided not to let nature take its course and drove their truck between the 2 animals. The bear ran off into the woods and the moose escaped.
My husband, as we were going up the road, said, "Get your phone ready. There's a moose up ahead." So I said, "Is that a bear chasing a deer?" And he said, "No, that's the calf moose.
The bear's chasing it."
The moose reunited with its mother. And finally, a seal pup hitching a ride.
Yeah, the seal got comfortable on this unattended boogie board in Maine and stayed on the board for miles. Top headlines next. Checking more top stories. The man accused of killing conservative activist Charlie Kirk is due in court today. The 5-day hearing will focus on whether there's enough evidence for a trial and if the death penalty is warranted. Kirk's widow and his parents are expected to attend.
Iranians are coming out by the thousands to mourn the supreme leader killed at the start of the war. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's coffin is being carried through Tehran as part of a days-long funeral. But so far, no sign of the son who succeeded him.
Russia has launched another massive attack on Ukraine's capital city. At least 10 people were killed. Several residential buildings were hit by missiles, trapping people in the rubble.
The #1 women's seed is out at Wimbledon. Naomi Osaka upset Aryna Sabalenka. Meanwhile, Americans Coco Gauff and Jessica Pegula are preparing to face each other in the quarterfinals.
Today's weather, heavy rain and storms across the eastern U.S., with 40 million people in the Northeast facing potential flash floods. Scattered storms later from Arizona to Montana.
And finally, a look back at the fun we had for the 4th.
24 hours of celebration.
It was a celebration of America, 250 years in the making. From the top of Lady Liberty's torch in David Muir.
For generations of immigrants crossing the Atlantic coming here to the United States, this was the first view they would see when they pulled into New York Harbor.
To our party across America.
We got a party all right. We are paraded.
from every corner of the country, highlighting all 50 states and territories.
Oh my gosh!
From the sea and Rachel Scott.
I don't know how we made it, but we made it.
To the sky and Deborah Roberts.
Unbelievable. What a view.
And right back down to the ground.
All right, here we go.
Our Stephanie Ramos rappelled with the elite Screaming Eagles of the 101st Airborne.
That's how you do it. It is quite the thrill.
Meanwhile, Hannah and I enjoyed our own thrill.
Happy 4th of July from Bristol, Rhode Island, known as America's most patriotic town. Sophie and I fitting in very well here with our red, white, and blue.
Tens of thousands of revelers lined Hope Street for the nation's oldest continuous 4th of July parade, held every single year without fail since 1785.
This parade, it stretches 2.5 miles long, and we're lucky enough to have the best seat in the house. Happy 4th of July, everyone.
GMA spotlighted our cultural diversity as dozens took the oath to officially become brand new American citizens. Our celebration reached its dramatic peak in Nashville with the nation's largest fireworks and drone show and a star-spangled bash with superstar lineup hosted by Ryan Seacrest.
Good night, America.
Our entire Disney Celebrates America coverage is now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Too much fun. That's your Good Morning America first look.
Have a great day.